everyone.
Hi.
Madeline here. I'm with
Annick Poirier, registered dietitian.
So today is Wellness Wednesday, and we're talking about how to get your libido back. So for maybe, time to reconnect with your body and find that sensual girl inside of you. So for people that doesn't even know what libido means, so can you explain a little bit what it is?
It's something different, I think, for everybody. However, it's something that comes within in being sensual and being with your partner. That's super important, and it's a form of communication, really, along with your partner. And sometimes along the way, life happens, and we can lose that connection. And it's a connection with your body, but also a connection maybe with your partner.
Yes. So we decided to create like a 12-week program. It's completely online, and it will be part of the Sparkle Lounge. So
very excited.
Yeah, so we're really excited because we've been talking a lot about like nutrition, fitness, but we never really jumped too deeply into sensuality. I know we had like a couple online programs that we talked about, but never really in depth. So we're really looking forward to add this program into the Sparkle Lounge. So this is week 1. So we're talking about how to get your libido back. But first, if you want to get it back, you need to understand why you lost it in the first place. If you have no idea, how can you even fix it? So this is exactly how it's going to work. So today we're talking about the reason why you lost your libido, what the cause, and in the next week, we're going to explain how to address all those causes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can download a PDF. I'm assuming in the link up, down, side below. You'll be download that. Click somewhere. And you'll be prompted to download that PDF because everything that we're talking in this video will be downloadable. So I have that PDF in front of me, so I will discuss it with Annick. So there's the desire of having sex in general, it's based on different interaction. So your physical well-being, how you feel physically, your emotional, what's going on
mentally, physically,
it's really important. Your lifestyle in general, huge factor. Your sexual experience, what happened in the past,
good or bad,
yeah,
can affect the future,
exactly,
and the present,
and your beliefs.
True.
And actually the state or how you feel in your current relationship.
Yes, definitely.
Super important. So when it comes to physical well-being, illness, physical changes in your body, pain during an intercourse, if you can't orgasm, or any kind of medical disease, can really affect, like if we're talking about like diabetes, cancer, those are all, especially when it comes to medication to those disease, and obviously like medication in general, like antidepressant,
or even birth control too can affect many things. So, and it affects it in a way that, metabolically speaking, it changes the way either your existing hormones are producing or not producing enough of what you need, whether it's a desire, whether it's vaginal dryness, and then there's a whole aspect of stress and things like that. So the reason why we take certain medication and why we take them can actually affect that, not just lifestyle, but that could be some secondary effect of certain medications. If you are on certain medication, look back how long you've been taking them, the frequency, and see if there's a correlation between those two things.
True. When it comes to your emotional well-being, what's going on between your ears? So the way you see your body or feel about your body is a big factors. And things like surgery can actually affect your body image. How do you feel about it? There's changes. If you're fatigued in general, think about your kids, your work, your family. That's something that really affecting your sex drive.
So how to deal with stress, daily unwind.
Yes. Your coping skills and all that. Hormonal changes. Can you explain that a little bit? Like because you're menopause, being pregnant, like you know, just aging in general. So can you quickly get into like how hormonal it can affect you?
It can affect it differently, and some of it will be natural too, but it'll be short term. So for example, if you were pregnant, during pregnancy, sex will be totally different, and your desire will be totally different, and probably driven with your energy and not so much energy. And then when you have the baby, whether you had a natural birth or not, if there is any trauma to the birth canal, that could be one thing altogether. If there's none, then there could be the breastfeeding changes. So milk production affects your hormones, can affect, again, vaginal dryness. So there's going to be a period of time that, don't worry, things will come back, but the importance is to keep an eye on them, to make sure it doesn't get to the point where it affects your relationship, and to talk about that thing. So those things I find are important to talk with your partner, because your partner probably doesn't know what you're going through.
Yes.
And just establishing that conversation will actually bring you guys closer, and to go through together what you're doing instead of trying to go the opposite way. But yeah, hormones can be totally different, and then you can go to either a second pregnancy or third pregnancy and breastfeeding in between. So there could be a period of time where your hormones are actually producing or not producing enough, all kinds of stuff. And then there'd be, menopausal. But again, everything is temporary. So the importance is to talk to specialists to see if things are normal, or is it going to progress? How does that go?
And it can also be between your ears. So obviously your mental state, if you have, anxiety, depression, are you stressed, a poor body image, a low self-esteem, maybe you have an history of like low sex drive, and you have, just relationship issues. And that's a big one. I found like, especially when I have clients that will come and tell me, well, it used to be awesome, but lately, it's not the same. How I do that, you need to start looking at the communication with your partner. I mean, if you just have a lack of communication, maybe there's a lot of conflict. Maybe there's something going on that, things pile up. And if you're not discussing it, it can create a lot of tension and just, you start going like two different ways with your partner. That happens often. And I found like a lot of people are afraid to actually communicate their sexual preferences. And we don't all need the same thing. We have like different desire, fantasies, stuff like that, and you need to be comfortable to share those things, because the same way that you just mentioned about hormonal, you need to be able to communicate those things with your partner. And if you're in the situation that you can't communicate, or you don't feel comfortable, or you're shy, or just that's sign that the communication is just not there, and we need to address and work on that thing. And obviously trust issues could be like from previous experience, or maybe just where that point of your relationship that things are iffy, that can also really affect.
But holding it in and not talking about it will only make things worse.
And lastly, but surely, your lifestyle, what you eat, the exercise that you're doing, the wine you're drinking, the drugs that you're using, smoking, you mentioned like circulation.
Poor circulation,
yeah, that really affect your sex drive. It does. So as you can see, there's tons of different reasons why your sex drive is not there right now.
Orgasm.
Yeah, actually, if you can't even orgasm, like maybe you just, you haven't found what you like, what you love, if sex just doesn't make you feel better, and that's another common problem. But the first step to actually fix this issue is to really take the time to kind of write down all the thing that you feel that you can relate to, and then we can start working on troubleshooting. Because if you have like zero communication issue, that's not a problem, but it's still there, then we can start looking at other component. But you need your homework for this week is really to sit down and go over the list that we just mentioned, because if you download the PDF, you'll see everything we just mentioned. Then you need to kind of circle what you can relate to.
Absolutely.
So I hope this helped you. That's step 1, week 1 of finding your mojo or libido back. So see you next week, but
Bye.
in the Sparkle Lounge. Bye-bye.
Bye.